The Galactic Council chamber echoed with chittering laughter. Ambassador Vexthor of the Krillian Empire slammed his crystalline appendage against the obsidian table, his translator barely keeping up with his mocking tones. "Humans," he screeched, his voice dripping with contempt. "They petition for membership with their primitive vessels and their laughable military. They cannot even detect a cloaked ship at point-blank range." The other delegates joined in the derision. The Zafrani representative's tentacles writhed with amusement, while the Korthan war chief's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. Commander Sarachan watched the proceedings from the human delegation's Shiwei, her face an impassive mask. Behind her stood Captain James Rivera and Dr. Amara Okonkwo, equally stoic. They had expected this reaction. The galaxy had underestimated humanity for decades. Ever since first contact had been made 30 years ago, "Our stealth technology is millennia ahead of theirs," continued Vexthor, addressing the Council Prime. "The Krillian fleet has been observing Earth for months, completely undetected. We have documented their every military installation, every satellite, every defense grid. They are children playing with firecrackers while we wield stars." The Council Prime, an ancient being whose species had founded the Galactic Union 5,000 years ago, raised a weathered hand. "Perhaps we should grant them protectorate status. They may have potential given time and guidance." "Potential?" Vexthor laughed again. "They don't even know we're here. My flagship, the Devastator, sits in orbit above their moon right now. 30 kilometers of pure military might. Invisible to their sensors. They are blind, deaf, and defenseless." Commander Chen finally stood, her movement smooth and deliberate. The chamber fell silent, more from surprise than respect. "Ambassador Vexthor," she said, her voice calm and clear. "You mentioned your flagship. The Devastator, was it?" "Yes," Vexthor replied, his tone condescending. "Not that you would know anything about real warships." Chen smiled, a thin, cold expression that didn't reach her eyes. 30 kilometers long, Krillian Dreadnought class, quantum cloak active, positioned at Luna Lagrange Point 2. Crew complement 47,000. Primary weapons 12 stellar convergence cannons. Currently at 63% combat readiness due to a coolant leak in Section 7 Alpha. The chamber erupted into chaos. Vexthor's crystalline face somehow managed to convey shock despite its alien structure. "Impossible," he hissed. "You cannot." "You also have 3 escort frigates," Chen continued, pulling out a datapad. "The Retribution, the Vengeance, and the Swift Death, positioned in a defensive triad formation around the Devastator. Additionally, you have observation posts on Mars, in the asteroid belt, and one rather poorly hidden monitoring station on Europa." The Council Prime leaned forward, his ancient eyes suddenly sharp and interested. "How do you know this, Commander?" Chen turned to face the entire assembly. "Because we've been watching you watch us. For months. Every ship, every probe, every invisible scout. We knew you were there from the moment you entered our system." "Lies!" Vexthor shouted. "Your technology cannot penetrate our cloaking fields." "You're right," Chen agreed. "It can't, because we don't use conventional detection methods." She nodded to Dr. Okonkwo, who stepped forward with another datapad. "Human vessels don't rely solely on electromagnetic or quantum sensors," the doctor explained. "We map gravitational fluctuations, subspace distortions, stellar background radiation displacement, even quantum foam disruption patterns. Your ships might be invisible to light in most forms of scanning, but they still have mass. They still displace space-time. They still exist." Captain Rivera took over. "We also noticed something interesting about your technology. Your cloaking fields create a microsecond delay in local quantum field fluctuations. It's like a signature. Once we knew what to look for, finding your ships became trivially easy." The Zafrani delegate spoke up, their voice uncertain. "But if you knew we were watching, why did you not reveal this knowledge? Why allow us to believe we had the advantage?" Chen's smile widened. "Because in warfare, information is everything. Sun Tzu, a human military philosopher, once wrote, 'All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we are able to attack, we must seem unable.' You thought you were observing lab rats in a cage. In reality, you were the experiment." She pressed a button on her datapad. "Computer, execute protocol revelation." Throughout the Sol system, dozens of human vessels simultaneously dropped their cloaking fields. They had been there all along, shadowing every alien ship stationed at every choke point. positioned for perfect tactical superiority. The human stealth technology wasn't flashy or based on exotic physics. It was based on something simpler and far more effective, making their ships look like debris, asteroids, or simply empty space to conventional sensors, while remaining completely undetectable to the advanced scanning methods the aliens relied upon. The display screens in the council chamber lit up with live feeds. Every alien vessel in human space was bracketed by targeting solutions from multiple angles. The Devastator, the pride of the Krillian fleet, had 6 human destroyers in perfect firing positions around it. Each alien ship was outnumbered and outmaneuvered. Vexthor stared at the screens in horror. This is not possible. Your technology is different from yours, Chen interrupted. Not necessarily better in every way, but optimized for different purposes. You assumed that because we couldn't see through your cloaks, we couldn't see you at all. That was your mistake. The Council Prime stood, his expression unreadable. For a long moment he studied the human delegation. Then slowly he began to laugh. A deep, genuine sound of appreciation. Well played, Commander Chen, he said. Well played indeed. You have taught us an important lesson today. That technological advancement takes many paths, and that underestimating a species based on different approaches to problems is foolish indeed. He turned to face the assembly. I move that we grant humanity full membership in the Galactic Council, with all rights and privileges thereof. They have more than demonstrated their worthiness. The motion passed unanimously. Even Vexthor, humiliated but pragmatic, voted in favor. As the session concluded and delegates filed out, the Zephrani representative approached Commander Chen. Tell me, Commander, did you really have all those ships in position, or was it an elaborate bluff? Chen's expression remained neutral. What do you think? The Zephrani's tentacles writhed in what might have been amusement or anxiety. I think that I will never underestimate humanity again. Good, Chen replied. That was the point. As the human delegation left the chamber, Captain Rivera whispered, They still don't know about the real stealth fleet, do they? Chen shook her head slightly. No need to show all our cards in one day, Captain. Let them wonder what else we're hiding. Behind them, in the vast chamber of the Galactic Council, the aliens who had laughed at humanity now looked at the stars with new eyes, wondering what else might be watching them from the darkness, waiting, patient and unseen until the moment came to decloak. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they had done so on their own terms.